This conference will now be recorded.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nur Maulana Shah Karim Hossaini Hasimam. Ya Maulai Meherban. Please help this Nachis Maula. We all have gathered here, Maula, to learn from your Faramins, Maula, to choose, to find all the pearls of wisdom, Maula, which you have given to us in your Faramins, Maula. Ya Maulai Meherban, Tawfiq, Taeed, Himmat wa Yari Maula. Ya Maula, without your help, without your mercy, without the courage from you, Maula, without your friendship, Maula, Nachis is not able to do anything, Maula. Ya Maula, it is all due to you with your help, Maula. I seek upon your help, Maula. O Maula Meherban, help, please help. Al-Hayy, 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 Al-Hayy. Al-Hayy, 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 Al-Hayy. Al-Hayy, 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 Al-Hayy. Al-Hayy, 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 Al-Hayy. Al-Hayy, 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 Al-Hayy. Shahe Kareem Al-Akram, Shahe Kareem Al-Akram. 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 Shahe Kareem Al-Akram. Mushkil Asan Ya Ali, Madad Rasan Ya Ali. 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 Ya Maulai Meherban, there are so many beautiful names for you, Maula. Al-Hayy, the one who is living and can bring us to life, Maula. We seek upon this beautiful name of yours, Maula, to bring us to life, Maula, at spiritual and intellectual level, Maula. In our spiritual journey, Maula, we need this life, Maula. We may have been living this life physically, living in the physical world, doing physical things, Maula, even following the tariqah physically. Ya Maula, through the barakat of this zikr, Ya Maula, bring us to life, Maula. Shahe Kareem al Akram is your beautiful name, Maula. O generous Maula, we call upon your mercy, your generosity. And we seek mushkilat Asani, Maula. Ya Maula, we do hear about fires in Canada. We hear about cyclone in Pakistan, India. Ya Maula, truly global warming has brought our planet to a very difficult situation, and due to that, the whole Jamaat and humanity is at risk, Maula. Ya Maula, we seek your safety. We seek Mushkil Asani, Maula. Ya Maula, we have not taken care of our planet, Maula. Ya Maula. How strange is that, Maula? That when we learn in this journey that wherever you have talked about land, it is an example, it is an allegory, parable for a moment. How strange is that, Mala, that we've been living so blindly. We've been living so blindly. We have not taken care of the physical planet. on which we live, we've just done what we wanted to do. Similarly, we have not taken care of the land which is within us, the spiritual world, the personal world, the inner being, the soul which is ever living, Mola. Ya Mola, we've been living very negligently, Mola. Ya Mola, Ya Mola, open our eyes, Mola, and do what we need to do to protect and prevent what we are leading into, Mola. Ya Mola Meherban, Ya Mola Meherban, without your help, Mola, without your mercy, Mola, we do not find capabilities in ourselves, Mola. It is all due to you, your mercy, your guidance, your help, Mola. We seek upon your help, Mola. Ameen, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Shukran lillah, walhamdulillah, shukran lillah, walhamdulillah. Ya Ali Madad to all friends.
Ali Madad.
Malali Madad.
Molali Maima.
Malali Madad. Good to see you all. So we continue to discuss our Kalame Imam Mubin Farhameen's in English based upon request from a friend from Africa. And this endeavor was started for Jamaat for Africa. But Alhamdulillah, now we have friends from all over. And we've been discussing this Farman number 6, May 10th, 1889. Today we will continue from here. First, I'll read it, transliteration of Gujarati, and then paraphrase, translate it to English, and then we will continue to discuss the Farman. Please recite the Salawat Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Hazrat Musa, યુશી ને સાથે લઈ એક નદીને પાસે આવ્યા તે ઠેકાણે હઝરત મૂસાને કુદરતી હાજત થવાથી માછલીને ત્યાં મૂકી અને હઝરત યુશુને ત્યાં જ બેસાડી હાજત માટે ચાલ્યા. હઝરત મૂસા કુદરતી હાજત માટે હંમેશા ઘણા છેટે જતા હતા કારણ કે તેમને કોઈ જોઈ નહીં. પાછળથી પાણીની વાસથી માછલી જીવતી થઈ અને પાણીમાં ચાલી ગઈ. Hazrat Musa જ્યારે આવ્યા ત્યારે મછલીને ત્યાં ના જોતા. So we have talked about this paragraph, especially the first part in which, Hazrat Musa goes for his natural need and he does walk away kind of further away and he leaves Yushi bin Nun with this dry fish. Upon his return, he sees that there is no fish. So then we continue to read further. Hazrat યુશીને પૂછ્યું કે માછલી ક્યાં છે? ત્યારે હઝરત યુશુએ માછલીનો જેવું બનાવ બન્યો હતો તે કહી સંભળાવ્યું અને કહ્યું કે તે પાણીમાં ચાલી ગઈ. Then Hazrat Yusuf bin is actually telling him what had happened, that due to the smell of the water, the fish, the dry dead fish, walks away to the river, to the ocean, whatever it was. And Hazrat Musa એ કહ્યું કે એમ કેમ બને? There's interesting, Mola, the way he's telling us the story. So Hazrat Musa is asking, how is it possible? Very true. How is it possible? It does not logically make any sense. એમ કહીને માછલી જોવા માટે પાણીમાં ચાલ્યા. After saying that, he kind of walked, towards the water to look for a fish. But before we go further, when we hear a question like that, how is it possible? Meaning logically it doesn't make sense. Whenever in Farhameen's, in Quran, Ginans, when we read something, it does not make sense. Do know there is a ta'wil behind it. It is one way of grasping our attention. Our Dais, Buzurgwar-e-Deen have done that, and it is called shock therapy. To shock us in such a way that we would be like, what? What are you talking about? And it's illogical. It doesn't make sense. What are you telling me? Whenever we feel like that, pause. Especially in Quran, pause. Because when you read Quran, it is like book of stories. And, magical story. All, fantasy. But in reality, it is not fantasy. There is a ta'wil hidden behind it. But those whose intellect is like children, following things like blind, may see it as a story, fantasy, like it, not like it, and move away. Will not find any pearls of wisdoms in it. In reality, whenever there is something which is illogical, there is secrets, big secrets which are hidden behind that illogical thing. And we, as the seekers, we have to kind of look for those hidden secrets, especially when we are given this kind of shock. How is it possible? Meaning, it is not possible, meaning there is some other secrets hidden. Then Musa actually walks towards the water to see how and where this fish went away. હઝરત મૂસા તેને પકડવા માટે તેની પાછળ ચાલ્યા ત્યારે પાણી તેમને ખીચીને નીચે લઈ ગયો. Now very interesting miracle. When he is looking for the fish, the water pulls him. Now, if you are just entering into water, if we have been to the ocean beach, we do feel the current, but you have to be kind of deep inside to be pulled into the water. He just walked into the beach side and he's pulled away in the water. Again, not logical. Hazrat Musa તેને okay, and then જ્યારે પાણીને નીચે જમીન ઉપર પહોંચ્યા ત્યારે હઝરત મૂસાએ નજર કરી તો હઝરત ખિઝરને બંદગીમાં મશગૂલ થઈ બેઠેલા જોયા. Now, not only the water pulls him, it takes him to the really bottom of it, and there he sees this personality who he was looking for, Hazrat Khizr alayhi salam, and he's sitting there and doing bandagi. It sounds like a very, majestical, beautiful fantasy story. Hazrat Musa ત્યાં જઈને ઊભા રહ્યા. Of course, he didn't want to disturb him, so he's standing there. જ્યારે બંદગીમાંથી હઝરત ખિઝર ફારિગ થયા ત્યારે હઝરત મૂસાએ સલામ કરીને હઝરત ખિઝરે સલામનો જવાબ આપી. પૂછ્યું કે તમે શા માટે આવ્યા છો? Now again, pay attention. There is exchange of salam. Salam is not to anybody. Salam is to when we know each other. We are smiley brothers and sisters. We send Ya Ali Madad, Maula's mother to each other. Being Muslim Ummah, we would say Salaam alaikum, wa alaikum assalam. There's an exchange of salam, exchange of communication, that peace be upon you, and then the peace is returned to you, that for you also peace. Again, this does not happen between strangers, meaning there is more to this story than what we are reading and what we are superficially seeing. And then Hazrat Khizr alayhi salam asks him, why are you here? ત્યારે હઝરત મૂસાએ કહ્યું કે હું ઇલ્મ શીખવા માટે આવ્યો છું. Now here is the key point. Hazrat Musa, in the beginning we read that he was teaching all the children of Prophet. There were 70,000 people coming to listen to him. And he says, I have come here to learn knowledge. This is it. The biggest test on Prophet, that to be able to say, I do not know and I have come to learn. All these, what we are reading, is full of ta'wil. But this one is so important for us, especially we are grown, mature adults. Until we do not find that humility from whatever status or whatever profession we are at, and we say, I don't know and I need to learn. That requires killing of our ego, letting the ego down. Yes, I don't know, and probably I have to learn from a younger person, but I need to learn. If that test is passed, doors open up. The doors of Imam's mercy open up, because we took upon ourselves to be humble, meaning follow the Farman of Imam, follow the Faramins of Prophet Muhammad and the instructions given in the Quran. Humility you will find everywhere. When we are humble, we pass very big test. હઝરત ખિઝરે કહ્યું કે મારો ઇલ્મ શીખવાને શીખાવવાની તમારામાં તાકાત નથી. Very interestingly, Hazrat Khizr, we do know this personality. Hazrat Khizr is, Maula Ali has talked about it, that I am Ana Khizr, that he is Khizr. So in Batin, Maula Ali's one of the name is Khizr alayhi salam. We do not find the name of Maulana Khizr as any other Imams in our books of history with the names of Imam from the time of Hazrat Adam alayhi salam. We do not find any name as Khizr. And when Maula Ali says that I am Khizr, meaning that we do know that it is Maula's Batni Joma, and Maula has taken this name, and it appears in so many writings that Khizr is there. And we do know, due to saying of Maula Ali, that wherever we read Khizr, we know it is Maula Ali. So actually it is Maula Ali. Maula Ali is saying to Hazrat Musa alayhi salam that you know what, that you do not have that courage. Takat nathi. You don't have that courage in you that you can learn my knowledge. So first test was humility. The other test is that do you have that courage to learn? Will you be consistent? Will you meet all the criteria of learning? Or you'll say, no, I run away. So there are very many tests when we start the journey of knowledge. Not only that we need to be humble, there are very many tests in which are taken constantly to prove our worthiness. Now, I do want to say something about worthiness. We all are worthy. We all are worthy because we all are smiley and we are all blessed and we are already in the paradise of Imam. But the key concern is that how close we are to Imam. That is the race, that how close we are to Imam. And in that race, who's going to win the race? That's what we are learning. All the ilmi journey is about racing to come close to the Noor of Imam. We are already in the Noor of Imam, but there are levels. So he says, Imam says that you don't have the courage in you. And then તમારામાં તાકાત નથી કે તમે શીખી શકો કારણ કે તમારામાં એટલી સબૂરી નથી અને તમે સબૂરી કરી શકશો નહીં. Not only that you lack the courage, but also that you lack patience, meaning that these two are very, very important criteria if we are seekers, that we need to have courage and we need to have patience. If we lack patience, we are not worthy or we are not capable of, reaching to that level, seeking the knowledge, getting the knowledge of Imam. હઝરત મૂસાએ કહ્યું કે મને તમારી પાસે ઇલ્મ શીખવા માટે ખુદાએ મોકલ્યું છે અને હું ખુદાના હુકમથી આવ્યો છું. તો ખુદા મને સબૂરી આપશે. Now pay attention. It is his faith. Look at his faith. He accepts. He does accept because he's not talking about, no, I am patient. No, he's not saying that. He says that I have been sent. I am following the command of Allah that I have to learn this knowledge and I have to learn it from you. And I know that my Lord will give me patience. So are we capable of having that level of patience or humility or courage? No, we are not, because we are very weak. Humans are full of flaws. But with His mercy, we attain that power, that ability, that patience, that courage which we are seeking. So Musa passed the test actually. He says, it's not me. Oh, I am patient or I am this. No, he maintains his humility. He says, it is due to the command that I am here and I have to learn this knowledge and He will give me the patience. Whenever we are walking on the journey, the lesson for us, when we are sitting in Baitul Khayal Ibadat or we are learning ilm and we find ourselves failing, constantly not able to progress due to whatever reasons, whatever issues we have to trust in Him. Trust in Him who is ever living, who is our Imam. He will help us. He will give us courage. He will become our patience. We need to be consistent. No matter what, we do not give up. That's the criteria for us to constantly continue to pass, not to give up. Hazrat Khizare, Hazrat Musa bane jana chalta chalta darya kinare pahunchya. So when Hazrat Musa alayhi salam reply was that it is due to command of Allah, it is not me, right? He passes this test. Hazrat Khizr alayhi salam accepts him and now he takes him with him on the journey and they reaches at the shore. of that દરિયા. ત્યાં એક કિશ્તી यानी વાણ હતું તેમાં બેઠા. There was a boat in which they both sat. જ્યારે કિનારા નજદીક આવ્યા ત્યારે હઝરત ખિઝરે એક વાણનો પાટિયો કાઢતા હતા અને આખરે પાટિયો કાઢી નાખ્યો. So probably there was a journey. They sat on the boat and they reached to other, shore, kinara, whatever. And when they finished their travel, Hazrat Khizr alayhi salam takes the, wooden piece out of the boat, meaning that there's a hole now. This ship will drown. This boat will drown. So for no reason, he's removing that wooden piece. Hamna pani, okay, where it is. Hazrat Khizr પાટિયો કાઢી નાખ્યો. કાઢતા હતા અને આખરે પાટિયો કાઢી નાખ્યો. આથી વાણમાં પાણી ભરાવા લાગ્યું. Of course, there was a, water start to fill in it. ત્યારે હઝરત મૂસાએ હઝરત ખિઝરને કહ્યું કે આ શું કરો છો? આ શું કર્યું? What did you do? Looking at that, Hazrat Musa says, what did you do? હમણાં પાણી ભરી જશે અને આપણે ડૂબી જશું. Not only that the water will fill in it, but we will drown. Hazrat Khizare કહ્યું કે એ મૂસા, તમે મને કહ્યું હતું કે હું સબૂરી કરીશ, તે તમે ભૂલી ગયા? Immediately Hazrat Khizr alayhi salam reminds him that, did you not tell me that you will be patient? Did you forget already? Hazrat Musa કહ્યું કે હવે પાછી હું નહીં બોલું. He says, yes, I am reminded and I will not speak. હવે હું સબૂરી કરીશ. I will be patient. હઝરત ખિઝરે હઝરત મૂસા બને કિનારે ઉતરી આગળ ચાલ્યા. Now they came down and they start to walk. ત્યાં એક છોકરો ઊભો હતો. There was a young child standing there, a boy. હઝરત ખિઝરે તલવાર કાઢીને તે છોકરાને મારી નાખ્યો. Very interesting. Hazrat Khizr takes out his sword, like Maulai took out his Zulfikar and he kind of, takes this child's life. He's gone. ત્યારે હઝરત મૂસાએ કહ્યું કે હે ખિઝર, આ બેગુના છોકરાને શા માટે મારી નાખ્યું? Why did you kill this innocent child? ત્યારે હઝરત ખિઝરે કહ્યું કે ફરી તમે ભૂલી ગયા? You again forgot? ત્યારે હઝરત મૂસાએ આજીજી કરી, કહ્યું કે હવે હું નહીં પૂછું. Again he became very, ashamed, embarrassed. He says, no, I'm so sorry. I will not repeat this. I will not do that again. જો હું પૂછું તો તમે મને ઇલ્મ નહીં શીખવજો. When second time it happened, he said, you know what, if I do that, it's okay if you don't teach me. ત્યાંથી બંને જણા ચાલ્યા અને એક શહેરમાં પહોંચ્યા અને ભૂખ લાગી હોવાથી જમવા માટે ગયા. પણ શહેરમાં કોઈએ તેઓને ખાવાનું આપ્યું નહીં. આટલું જ નહીં, પણ બંનેને શહેરમાંથી કાઢી મૂક્યા. Now, when they reach a city and they are hungry, right? So they are asking people to give them some food. Nobody gave them food. Not only that they did not give them food, but they kind of, pushed them away from the borders of the city. So they are kind of out of the borders of the city. ત્યારબાદ મૌલાના હાજરી મામે ફરમાવ્યું. Remember, we are reading a Farman, not a story. Maula is telling us. આ વાત સાચી છે. કુરાન की આ વાત કુરાની છે. આ વાત સાચી કારણ કે આ વાત સાચી છે કારણ કે આ વાત કુરાની છે. Now, very, very interesting. I honestly would like us to pause and pay attention. The writer here, whoever wrote this Paramis, they immediately, realized what they had to do. This is continuation of Farman. But whoever had written the Farman, they had said Tyarbad. Afterwards, Maula said, what did he say? આ વાત સાચી છે કારણ કે આ વાત કુરાની છે. This is a true story. This is event. It is a true event because it is from Quran. Tell me why Imam had to say that. What was the reason? We were listening to beautiful story. We were enjoying it, right? That's what Imam saw. Jamaat was reading their story and they were enjoying it. And Imam says, no, I am not telling you the story. Do not be into that story, listening to, a night bedtime story. No, I'm not telling you the story. This is a true event because it is from Quran. Imam is teaching us from Quran. Is this a story mentioned in Quran? Yes. Can you find and read it? Yes. Would you? Up to you. That is the question. This is the Farman where Imam is teaching us that I am teaching you the stories from Quran, but do understand the Tawil. Not in very many words, but Imam is mercifully giving us all what we need, those who are truly paying attention. Now, there are some who will continue to read Farman and read the story, but I would say the most important line is this, that this is from Quran. How many of us would go back and look for this story in Quran or seek Tawil of this story from Quran? Question is in 18, when was this Farman? 1889. How many of the Jamaati members realize that Imam is wanting us to read Quran? How many? Today, do we realize that? The reason, this friend said, who had requested to talk about Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah's Faramin, because we do know Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah was a very unique and special Imam. And his Faramins are full of Tawili ilm, and he announced the time of Qiyamah in his first Farman. And he has given us so many Tawilat from Faramins, and this friend was that I do not see us understanding, and especially because this Farman is in Gujarati or transliteration in English, but not any proper translation in English or explanation with today's knowledge. So today's time, we are all educated. We do know how to pick up the Quran and find those verses and seek the Tawil. This story is from Quran. Imam is not telling us just the story, but Imam wants us to pick up the Quran to realize and find the Tawil to understand this, beautiful story of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. So I hope that we have to really, whenever we read Faramins of Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, we have to be truly, really paying attention. Then Mola says, Rasulullah ફરમાવ્યું છે કે એ શહેર ઘણો ખરાબ છે કારણ કે મહેમાન ત્યાં આવે તો તેને ખાવાનું ન આપતા શહેરને બહાર કાઢી મૂકે છે. Rasulullah ફરમાવ્યું, meaning now Mola is paying attention to Prophet Muhammad. Ya Ali, Ya Muhammad. Mola Ali is the first Imam of this cycle, and Prophet Muhammad is the first Natik of this cycle. He is the Lord of this day. We believe in days in Ismaili Tariqa. Every Natik has a day. So the Lord of this cycle, the cycle where Maula Ali came with Prophet Muhammad, Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah talked about his book and that personality. Have you read any hadith of Prophet Muhammad? Are we seekers or we are lovers of the stories? રસૂલુલ્લાહે ફરમાવ્યું છે કે એ શહેર ઘણો ખરાબ છે કારણ કે કોઈ મહેમાન ત્યાં આવે તો તેને ખાવાનું ન આપવા શહેરની બહાર કાઢી મૂકે છે. So Prophet has told us this story that these people who lived in this city, they were really not good. Not only that they did not feed the guest, but they kicked them out kind of. પછી હઝરત ખિઝરે હઝરત મૂસાને કહ્યું કે અહીં આપણને કોઈ ખાવાનું આપશે નહીં. Nobody is going to give us food. Khizr is telling Musa, nobody is going to give us food. માટે ચાલો આપણે મજૂરી કરે. Therefore, let's look for some work, some labor work to do. પૈસા કમાવી ખાવાનું લઈએ, and then we earn money to buy food. ત્યાંથી તેઓ એક શહેરની પાસે પહોંચ્યા, ત્યાં એક ઘરની ભીંત પડી ગઈ હતી. So around there, somewhere near the city, they saw a wall which had fallen down. તે ભીંત Hazrat Khizr ઊભી કરવા લાગ્યા. So Hazrat Khizr started to, do the repair work to build that wall. એ ભીંત સરખી કરી હઝરત મૂસાએ પૂછ્યું, આ ભીંત કોની છે? So Hazrat Khizr alayhi salam, kind of worked on that and built this wall, and now the wall is built. And now Hazrat Musa alayhi salam is asking that whose wall did we work on? આપણે તેની મજૂરી પણ ઠરાવી નથી. And he says that whose place is this We have not set any, amount, labor money before building this. તો તેની મજૂરી આપણને કોણ આપશે? Who is going to pay us? He's asking all this question. પહેલા તેને માલિક પાસે મજૂરી ઠેરાવી ત્યારબાદ મજૂરી કરે હો તો ઠીક થતું. He said it would be nice if we were to find this, who is the owner of this house, and we would set up an amount as payment, and then if we would have worked the labor, then it would be good, right? હઝરત ખિઝરે કહ્યું કે તમે તમારા મકાને જાઓ. Hazrat Khizr is saying, you need to go back to your place. કારણ કે આપણો વાયદો હવે ખલાસ થયો. Because the promise we had, the contract we had, it is broken. It is completed, he says. No, it's not broken. It is completed. તમે કહ્યું હતું કે હું હવે સબૂરી ના કરું તો તમે મને નહીં સિખાવજો. You had told me if I were not to be patient, then do not teach me. તે શરત પ્રમાણે તમારાથી સબૂરી ના થઈ અને આપણો વાયદો ખલાસ થયો. With this, you did not keep your promise. So due to that, our contract is finished. And you had told me that I do not need to teach you. And you did not, according to the contract, you were not patient. So our contract is finished. I think let's go up and talk about this because the story keeps going on. I feel like let's first finish the story and then we'll see how much we can do. હઝરત ખિઝરે હઝરત મૂસાને કહ્યું કે તમે જે 3 બાબતો જોઈ તેનો મતલબ અને ભેદ હું તમને સમજાવું છું. અને હઝરત મૂસા સાંભળવા બેઠા. And then Hazrat Khidr al-Islam says, the 3 things which we did and you asked me, the secret, the bhed, now I'm going to tell you. So they both sit down. હઝરત ખિઝરે કહેવા लाग्યા કે મેં જે કિશ્તી ભાંગી નાખી તેનો સબબ એ હતો કે તે કિશ્તી એક ગરીબ માણસની હતી અને અહીંનો બાદશાહ ઝાલિમ હોવાથી જેની કિશ્તી સારી જોવામાં આવતી તેને વેથમાં લઈ જતો હતો. અગર હું તેની કિશ્તીને ના ભાંગતો તો તે કિશ્તી બાદશાહ લઈ જઈ અને તે ગરીબ માણસ ભૂખે મરી જાત. So Khizr Islam is telling him this story that the first event which happened that I had, broken the boat because it belongs to a poor man, and the king of that place is a very cruel king. Whoever has a good boat, he takes it away. So if it were to be not broken, he would have taken it away, and this poor man would die, due to hunger because he will have no means of earning. So he was kind of helping that poor man. Then he says, બીજી બાબતનો ખલાસો કરતા હઝરત ખિઝરે કહ્યું કે જે છોકરોને મેં મારી નાખ્યો તેનો સબબ એ હતો કે તે છોકરાના મા-બાપ સારા છે અને એ છોકરો કાફર હતો. Very interestingly, Mawla says that the child which I killed, he was kafir, he was unbeliever, and his parents were really good. જો તે મોટો થતો હોત તો પોતાના મા-બાપનું નામ ડુબાવતો હોત. If this child, had grown up, he would have, embarrassed his parents, and જેથી તેના મા-બાપને ઘણો જ દુઃખ ભોગવવો પડતો. And due to that, the parents would have really be very sad, very, very heartbroken. બલકે આખા શહેરને દુઃખ આપતો. Not only that his parents would have been sad or, heartbroken, but the whole city would be, given grief by that child. તેના માટે તે મેં મારી નાખ્યો જેથી બધાઓને દુઃખ ન થાય. And that is why I killed that child, so everybody is kind of protected from that grief. ત્રીજી બાબતનો ખુલાસો કરતા હઝરત ખિઝરે કહ્યું કે જે બેનત મેં ઊભી કરી તે યતીમની હતી. The wall which I built, it belonged to a orphan. તે યતીમ પાસે આટલું પૈસો નથી કે બિનતને ઊભી કરી શકે. And that orphan did not even have that much money that who could build this wall. તેના બાપનું નામ સાલેહ હતો કારણ કે તે ઘણો સારો હતો. The orphan's father name is Saleh and he was a very good man. ઘણા લોકોને સારા કામો કર્યા હતા. Not only that he was a good man, but he used to help others in, doing good deeds. તેનો અસલ નામ ખસરખા હતો. દરેકને જરૂરતી પૂરી કરતો હતો તે માટે ખુદાવંદ તાલાએ તેનું નામ સાલે રાખ્યો હતો. His name was something else, Kasar Khan. And because of his, goodwill to not only, help himself but help all others. In fact, he would fulfill everybody's needs. દરેકની જરૂરિયાતી પૂરું કરતો. Everybody's need. That is why Khudawan Ta'ala had kept his name Saleh. The word Saleh is from Quran. Saleh means honest, true walker, from honesty. રાખ્યો હતો. એ બેન તેને છોકરાની હતી, તે બેન પડી ગઈ અને તે છોકરા પાસે પૈસો નહીં હતો. વળી તે યતીમ હોવાથી તેને બેન મેં ઊભી કરી હતી. This orphan did not have money. He's a child of a good man. Saleh, his name, father's name. And that is why I built that wall for that orphan child. જ્યારે તેનો બાપ સાલે ગુજરી ગયો ત્યારે તેને 5 વસિયતો કરી હતી. Now he's talking about Saleh. So I think we can pause here and go back and understand what was happening. Though we read in Farman, Imam has given us one understanding, one level of understanding according to the Jamaat sitting in front, that what it meant. So let us now look into this story. So number one, Hazrat Yusuf bin, who is protector, who we do know became Asas Imam. He says that the fish walked to the river and he doesn't know anything. It's not, this answer does not make sense. He himself is elevated mu'min. He is in the care and protection and teachings and love of a prophet. He did not know what happened. Does not make sense. So allegory of the fish, we have talked about that there are very many levels, right? So here let's start from the basic, and that is us, our own soul, which is like a dried fish. Because when we talk of universal soul, we are connected to universal soul. So we are talking about the lower I, and universal soul is the higher I. We all are connected to our higher I, that is universal soul. But here at this level, we are coming down and talking about this fish, which is our own soul, which is dried as if it is dead. And that is why in the beginning I did talk about the zikr al-hay. Al-hay is a beautiful zikr, connects, makes us understand the status of this fish, which is us, dried as if we are dead. There is nothing there. But as soon as there is a smell of water, one sense involved, these senses we have, they are all doors. And this teaching our peers have given us beautifully in our dinars. So our nose is a very powerful sense, and a lot of spiritual experiences are actually through nose. And alhamdulillah, this is one of the experience which Imam is telling us in this Farman. So again, there are layers of understanding. So our, a moment whose soul is like dried, and who does not have any ale, water is like knowledge. And this fish, as soon as it smells, it runs away, meaning it comes to life. This is what happens to Mu'min Salik who does not have knowledge, and when they hear true knowledge, their inner being feels happy. They feel joy and they want to learn more. They want to be connected more. They want to be with it because it gives them, life of a different level, happiness of a different kind, which we cannot get it in from this physical world. And it is not that we are not knowledgeable. It is not that we have not read this Faramins. We have. But when we get ta'wili ilm, there is something else happening in our being. And if you may ask, what is that inner being? That is personal word. The inner being, the way we have learned in Ginans, Atma Ram Tumhe Bada Ginan. That Atma Ram, Atma, soul, Ram, Lord. The part of the soul which is within us, which is the lower I. There's another name for it which is given in today's time, which is called personal word. It is actually from Sufi origin. ALWAEZA, that within ourselves there is a whole world, and it is based on saying of Maula Ali. As soon as this dry soul gets this knowledge, even just the smell, the bit of it, there'll be life and they'll run to that, towards that knowledge. So that's what happened. Now, please be careful, though we are, studying a story about Musa alayhi salam. Hazrat Musa alayhi salam already has the knowledge. So there is so many layers of teachings Imam is giving us, and Quran has this story that Hazrat Musa alayhi salam had the knowledge, but because of the pride, he was told to go down and seek more knowledge, become more humble. And he is carrying this fish. So are we talking about our prophet, or through the story of prophet ourselves? You know the answer. So this fish which came to life, and Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, now when he walks to the water pulls him. When we are in the knowledge, we think we are learning. I am making notes, I am reading this, I am doing this. Forget about this I. This I is nothing. It is him who helps us. What did we do? Sincerity in the intention, I want to learn. Complete humility, I do not know and I want to learn. With that, I am willing to take those sacrifices. I am willing to do the hard work, pre-reading, post-reading, making notes. I am willing to do that. Only intention needs to be there. Sincere, genuine intention. Everything else, he will do it for us. Through us, we will be writing, but it is not us. You know, when you write, think of yourself 1 year before or some time ago. You were not someone who could write these notes. There are friends who have told me, I had forgotten this language and now I write so beautifully. I did not know how to read and I understand and I read it. I do not know how it is happening. It is happening because it is a miracle. It is happening because Imam is doing it. But we have to be pausing to reflect and to realize it is all due to his mercy. But what happens when we don't have humility? Oh, I did this. It is me. So remember, we are learning that lesson for our own soul. It is not us. It is that water which pulls us. It takes our weight. Whenever we are, in ocean and water, we don't carry our weight. The water carries it. What we need to do is to stay connected with the knowledge. Our flaws, our deficiencies, our weaknesses will go away because the water will carry us. It is not us who will be doing it. So if we understand that part, you'll be seekers. Seekers like, staunch seeker. We do not ever want to go away from knowledge. Alhamdulillah. So that what happened to Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, the water pulled him in, and when he goes to the bottom of it, he sees Hazrat Khizr alayhi salam who is doing bandagi, and he stands there, and there is salam, meaning there was recognition. We have to know that there was a recognition. Behind the veil of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, we are being taught about ourselves. And yes, this is a story of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. So we are not being told without any truth in this story, because it is mentioned in Quran, it is mentioned in Farman. So did this test of humility came upon Prophet Musa? Probably. Allah tests everybody. Nobody is protected. Nobody is protected. Even at that stage, for a mildest, tiny second, he had that feeling, oh, there are so many people sitting in front of me. That thought. And then when he was asked, does anybody know? Oh, no, I don't think anybody knows more than that. Immediately came down the ladder. There is a ladder. We all are on the ladder. The reason I say we all are on the ladder, because we are here. If you were not to be here, you are not on the ladder. If you are in the knowledge class, you are on the ladder. So we are on the ladder. However we work, we continue to climb up. But whenever we sin, we come down. So there's constant back and forth, back and forth. And there's a beautiful farman of Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah. He asks us that if you take one step forward and then you take 2 steps backward, how would you reach where you intend to reach? So this Faramin is for us to realize that we are on the ladder, but we do need to continue to go up with this realization that there is constant test. Without test, there is no promotion, there is no progress. We have to prove that we have learned and it has become part of us so we can go to the next step. It doesn't happen in the physical world. Why do we expect it to happen in the spiritual world? It doesn't make any logical sense. So, Hazrat Musa alayhi salam says salam to Khizr alayhi salam. And then he says that I want to learn this knowledge. And immediately Hazrat Khizr alayhi salam, seeing his soul where he was, immediately says, you don't have that courage. You don't have that patience. And Hazrat Musa alayhi salam understands it immediately. And he says, I am here because my Lord has sent me. So when we are in the journey of knowledge, what is the requirement? Courage. Push yourself. Is it hard? Yes, no doubt about it, because we have not done it. Anything new we do, it is difficult. It is difficult. Take any example in the world, anything, even simply, I would say simply cooking a new dish. When you don't know, you don't know. Take example of driving. If you don't know, it is a test. But once you learn it, like you drive as an auto, you don't even think about driving, it happens. Bicycling, take any example. For fun, we are saying bicycling or swimming or looking for a job or starting a business. Everything is a test which we really have to put our mind, soul, body into it to invest to be able to produce the results. Same applies in the spiritual journey. Same applies in the knowledge journey. That when we really put our mind to it and then continue to persevere, then only it happens. It is not back and forth, back and forth. That does not. We are harming ourselves. Does it not happen that we go back and forth? Yes, it does happen. Why? Because we have not made that decision that this is it. This is what I want. If we make that decision, then there is no way we can go, anywhere else or go backward. Maula's mercy is with us, and he sees our intention, our will in our heart. So Hazrat Musa says, I'm not here because of my own will. I am here because I've been told that. Have you been told to seek knowledge? Question. Have you been told to do ibadat? This Ism Azam, if we have been in Baitul Khayal, which mostly all of us are, did we say that we want to do that? We came forward. If we had that intention, then his mercy is going to be with us. In the story of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, he was teaching already. He was teaching, meaning he had the desire to teach, he had the desire to serve. And then he was told to learn. So desire has to be there, willingness has to be there. And then his command came in, meaning at a higher level. He was supposed to go higher than where he was. But it happened in the form of a test. And test is always an indication that it is his mercy, because as soon as we pass a grade, we go to the next grade. It is a given rule in the world. Same in the spiritual world. So when he says that, he passes the test, that I am here with the command of Allah. Then Hazrat Khizr and Hazrat Musa bane jana chalta darya kinare pahunche. Now this story to be in the river, and they are traveling on this boat, and then he makes a hole in it. Why would he do that? Whenever a Mu'min Salik walks on the path of Sirat al-Mustaqim, sincerely, we are adults and we have realized that this world is such a sorrowful world, there is so much pain that no matter how much you invest time, efforts, it does give you just pain, sorrows. You don't find happiness in physical world, or you find it's very temporary. And you are now seeking of happiness which is lasting, which is sincere, which is honest, which is always permanent. When these kind of thoughts come into life of a Mu'min and Salih, meaning that they are looking for, spiritual growth, spiritual journey, hakikat. And if someone finds the true knowledge, what is the first test? The test is humility. Say, accept, you don't know. You don't know and you are willing to learn. It is not easy. Believe me, it is not easy. Because we are professionals. We are successful wherever we are. We are older. Even if you take classes, people will, tell you, oh, I know this much, I know that much. And you humbly listen because they know that much. Because it is hard. It is very difficult. It is not easy to say, I don't know. How can someone else tell me that I don't know? I say myself, I don't know. I'm a learner. And I don't have any, I don't shy away from that. I don't know. Every day I learn. And I will learn till the day I die. Because that is the Farman of Imam. That is the teaching of our Prophet. But to be able to say that to each other and accept somebody's leadership and learn knowledge. It is difficult. It is difficult. In this case, we are talking about the darja of Natik. This Natik learning from Imam. It is difficult, but he passed the test. So when the boat is, there's a hole in the boat. Why was it done? The logic Hazrat Khizr alayhi salam says, the owner of that city is cruel. He takes away good boats, and that poor man to whom that boat belonged to would die of hunger. In reality, we are learning about our soul, and this boat is the way to travel to the higher I, to the Imam, to be Asal Mein Wasal, to become one, mono reality, Rafiq-e Ala, all these concepts, meaning that we are seeking, our soul is seeking to be united with the origin. But the owner, this body, the king, very cruel, very cruel. And within this body, there is shaitan as well. And if this body, this city, is being led by this shaitan, meaning very materialistic life, ignoring of the soul, this shaitan will definitely not want one to elevate, will create problems for us to progress, take the journey further, travel in that water to go to the, ahead in the journey. It would not let us do that. Take it another way, that when we start walking on the path of knowledge, and if nobody tells us that we need to be humble, and there is no shock to our ego, then this cruel Lord, which is our being, materialistic being, will overpower our soul, and this soul will die of hunger and thirst. No progress for that soul. So in other words, what we are talking about, us as an individual. And there is a beautiful, another Farman of, Betul Khayal Farman of Imam Aka Sultan Muhammad Shah, that take of your being as a city, and it has two kings. Can a city have two kings? No, it cannot. It has to have one king. So here in this story, there are two kings. But the example, the way it's been given, one is king and another is a poor man in the city. City, king is shaitan, our nafs, me, I, ego, and that soul who's finding the way to progress in this, ilmi journey. But this cruel being is not letting this soul move forward. So what had happened? This whole, meaning a test came upon the life of that moment, meaning that you are nothing. You thought of yourself so much in the worldly life, you had gotten this status, now your business is gone. You are no one, you are nobody. Came down physically. Lesson of humility is learned. Take it another way. Someone intentionally coming, but being told to be quiet and not talk, not ask questions, listen. Are we able to follow those commands? I know so much, I have to tell you. No, you have to be quiet, meaning the hole is poked so the knowledge can fill up. I hope you're able to see there are so many ways of looking this one example. If you have heard one, beautiful. But today I have given you so many examples of looking at it. I would love you to reflect, sit down and think carefully that who is ruling my being? If I am the city, who is ruling the being? The poor soul who is seeking to move forward, but that soul has to realize, being in this body, this owner of the body has to realize the existence of the soul which is poor, meaning that taking out time, becoming humble, feeding this poor soul, which is our subject in our being. So there are so many ways of looking at this example, very many ways, to add to more to your thirst and your hunger, and probably making it more higher level to be able to reflect and to think that we do also need to remember that when we are reflecting in this story, this is the part of the story of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. Hazrat Musa alayhi salam has Yusuf bin Nun, who became the Asas Imam later. Hazrat Musa alayhi salam has already made Harun Janashin, who is the Imam of that time. Then who is Khizr? If Imam was under him, Musa made him Janashin, Harun. Who was Khizr alayhi salam? What was the status of the Khizr alayhi salam? If Harun was Asas, who was Khizr? Meaning Imams also have that job. So just this much, we have not gone further. I think we are on page 29, one page. Just one page. There is so much for us to reflect, us individually. What is the status of my soul? How humble I am? What is the level of my courage? What is the level of my interest in seeking knowledge? And who is ruling me? My soul? Am I feeding my soul enough? Or is it my pride, my ego ruling me? Or is it that I'm listening to this thirst and seeking knowledge? Then when I'm seeking knowledge, do I have to accept and be humble and have this courage to listen and to follow the commands? Do I have that much patience in me and humility? Because everyone's time will come. But until that time is not right, we are told to be quiet. And when I talk about being quiet, I also recall the story of Pir Nasr Khusro. When he met Al-Muhyiddin Shirazi, die at the city of Cairo, at the entrance of Cairo. Pir Nasr Khusro, who was so learned, he was a scholar, and he had learned Quran by heart, Bible by heart. He had read 300 tafasirs of Quran. He was a learned scholar already. And this Dai he meets, and he's asking questions, and Dai says, I will answer all your questions. Meaning, you have to be patient, because this knowledge is always given step by step. Here, we are not saying that you should not ask questions. You must ask questions, because we are intellectuals and we have to understand things. But when we walk on the path of journey of knowledge, it happens step by step. There's no shortcut. Grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. If we have done this in the world, we have to do that too. So knowledge comes step by step. Now, knowledge comes step by step. What do we need to do? Personal search. The first and the most important criteria. Read books. Regularity in our ibadat. Isme Azam ki ibadat. That's the most important thing. And I hope that we are building on that, because that is our basis. Isme Azam ki ibadat. Then comes the knowledge, because it is after that that we understand the knowledge due to the blessings of the Isme Azam. So we will continue with the next part of the story to understand. I hope that friends have some questions. Ji.
Subhanallah. NIAMAT Saiba, wonderful explanation of the Farman and its tawil, and also how it actually applies to us and how we can improve ourselves. Shukran, alhamdulillah. Friends, do you have any questions or comments? Come forward, please. While we're waiting for them to think,
Go ahead.
I have a question, well, not a question, a comment possibly. The tawil of the sinking of the boat, can it also be that by immersing yourself in ilm, you then actually are able to fight shaitan as well?
Yes, exactly. See that you are able to see it now at a different level. Exactly. It is open for us to understand. There are so many ways. When you look at it from Prophet being there, you will see things from here, because there are more tawilat. But when we apply it to ourselves, then there are more tawilat at this level. Any level you look at, you will find very many understandings. So there's not one meaning of it. Wherever we are, that tawil will touch us and that understanding will stay with us. But is there more? Definitely. Should we reflect on it? 100%. So beautiful. Thank you, Kareem.
Friends, if you have any questions or comments.
याली मदद भाईमा भाईमा ये जो लाइन है ना मतलब याली पापा जो फरमाए कि ખીઝરે કહ્યું કે મારું ઇલમ શીખવાની તમારી તાકાત નથી કે તમે શીખી શકો કારણ કે તમારામાં એટલી સબૂરી નથી અને તમે સબૂરી કરી શકશો નહીં जो आप अभी समझाए तो भाईमा लाइक इसमें जो ये जो स्टोरी है इसमें एंड में 3 क्वेश्चन के बाद हजरत मूसा पैगंबर को बोलते कि आप जाओ आप घड़ी घड़ी क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे तो ये क्या हमको समझाना चाह रहे इसमें क्योंकि पहले तो है ना इसको स्टोरी समझ के ही समझ लिए थे लेकिन अब मालूम है कि हजरत मूसा पैगंबर का जो दर्जा था तो ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता कि उनमें ताकत नहीं थी उनमें ताकत लेकिन ये लाइन से लाइक इसमें हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ा कुछ सबक है वो मेरे को जानना है मतलब समझना है सॉरी तो
डेफिनेटली इसलिए तो we are discussing this, right? इसीलिए definitely we are discussing this. So इसके लिए जो easiest answer अगर आज समझना है वो ये है that when we are on the journey, let me make it more simpler. Let's say हम इसमें आज़म की इबादत कर रहे हैं, right? And we may experience few things, and we hear, you know, of course we have heard different ginans, and peers have talked about different experiences from ginans, and we say, I want this experience, I want that experience. And we just started to sit in bandagi, and we start asking for the fruits which are, you know, mentioned in Peer's Ginan. At one level, it is a beautiful thing. It is called husnizan, a good thought, a good, you know, intention, a desire that we do want the higher fruits. But higher fruits, agar dekhen, for example, let's take an example of a tree. अगर दरख्त पे हम चढ़ रहे हैं तो first you have to start the journey from the base of the tree and then climb up earlier branches, then the middle branches, and then topmost branches. Peter is talking about the topmost branch. We are saying we want to go to the topmost branch, and that's good because that is the desire, that is the destination. It is wonderful, we must have it. But then lacking patience कि हमको step by step जाना है. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि क्वेश्चन नहीं करना है, क्वेश्चन नहीं करेंगे तो समझेंगे कैसे. लेकिन अगर कोई ये करता है गुलजार, नीचे खड़े हैं, हमको वो वाली तालीम दो, हमको बस वो बताओ, then there is a problem. तो यहाँ पे जो इम्पोर्टेंट चीज है वो ये कि स्टेप बाय स्टेप चीजें होती हैं. आप जो है इमाम के सीक्रेट्स को जो है आम खोल के बयान नहीं कर सकते हैं क्योंकि वो सीक्रेट्स हैं. सीक्रेट्स का जो बयान होता है वो उन लोगों में होता है जो इस काबिल है, मतलब जिसने मेहनत की है, दरख्त पे चढ़े चढ़े फर्स्ट ट्री के फर्स्ट ब्रांच के बल खाए, सेकंड ब्रांच के फल खाए, फिर ऊपर के वो लेवल पे पहुंचे, तो उनको ये राज देना होता है, सबको तो नहीं देना होता है. कोई आए कहे कि नहीं मुझे तो तुम वो वाला, बस तुम वो वाला दो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, you know, we have let's say 1 year or less than 6 months old baby, right? And we are eating our food, and the child sees that maa baap is eating, and you know, child wants give it to me too. maa baap will not give it to that child क्योंकि वो सही वक्त नहीं है. तो जब हम ये कहते हैं कि सबूरी करना, सबूरी का जो मतलब समझना है वो ये, to accept कि it is a journey, to accept that I have to work hard, it will happen. मौला का जो भी सीक्रेट्स है, मौला का जो भी खजाना है, किसके लिए? हमारे लिए है, हम उसके बच्चे हैं. Mola says, my beloved spiritual children, but we have to be at that level that he would give it to us what belongs to us. You know, we hear this example which Allama Sahib used to give कि अगर किसी के 5 बच्चे हैं और बच्चे जो है वो सारी जो जायदाद है बच्चों की है, लेकिन बाप किसको जायदाद देगा? उस बच्चे को देगा जो कल को उड़ा के पैसे खत्म कर देगा, या उस बच्चे को देगा जिसको समझ में आता है कैसे संभाल के खर्चना? उस बच्चे को देगा जो बच्चे संभालना जानता है, क्योंकि बाप ने मेहनत से कमाई है वो कमाई। ये एक फिजिकल दुनिया की मिसाल है। तो हम जब रूहानियत के राज को पाना चाहते हैं तो रूहानियत के राज उसको मिलते हैं जो समझदार है, जो सबूरी वाला है, मीनिंग कि जितना मेरी एबिलिटी है खाने की, मुझे इतना ही मिलेगा। आपको पता है ना क्या होता है? फॉर एग्जाम्पल कि now this kind of is a difficult example, माफी के साथ, first I seek your forgiveness, कि इस ट्री पे ये फ्रूट मुझे चाहिए, ठीक है ना? अब कहा कि भाई आपको पेशेंस रखना है, ट्री अच्छा नहीं है, I'll go to the next tree, मुझे जो ना ऊपर से मिल जाएगा फौरन से। That is one example. सब्र नहीं है, सब्र नहीं है। एक जगह कहा गया कि आपको स्टेप बाय स्टेप करना है, नहीं भाई मुझे तो वही चाहिए जो मुझे चाहिए, दरख्त कोई छोड़ दिया दूसरे दरख्त पे चले गए। तो ऐसे बहुत सारे टेस्ट आते हैं, क्या हम उन टेस्ट को पास करते हैं? पेशेंस है हमारे अंदर? अगर पेशेंस नहीं है तो डेफिनेटली हम व्हाट वी थिंक, वी यूज आवर इंटेलेक्ट that I am helping myself, I am doing better because I need that, I really need that, I am capable of it, I can handle it, I need that, and that is it, it needs to be given to me today. I when we do behave like that and we do not understand that in this journey there are subtleties, बहुत सारी delicacies, नज़ाकतें हैं, and we have to walk on this journey step by step. इमाम किसी को एकदम से रूहानियत नहीं दे देता है, क्यों? कि उसके लिए जो टेस्ट पास करने हैं उसको पास करने हैं, और इमाम से हमको मदद, हिम्मत, सबूरी, शक्ति सब चाहिए। When we do that, at that time when we get that fruit, we value it too. उसका वर्थ हमको मालूम होता है, उसकी अहमियत मालूम होती है, उसकी कदर भी तो होती है। Otherwise, there is no कदर। So यहाँ पे जो बात इस फरमान के एंड में समझाई गई है वो ये है कि ये जर्नी जो है वो स्टेप बाय स्टेप है। वक्त से पहले चीजें नहीं समझाई जा सकती हैं। स्टोरी में मूसा की मिसाल पे वो वक्त से पहले सवाल कर रहे थे, वक्त से पहले वो बता रहे थे कि मुझे इसी वक्त बताओ क्यों किया। क्यों का सवाल जो है ना अच्छा नहीं होता है। In the physical world we always say encouraged to ask why question, but when it comes to ruhaniyat, what is the command? I would always remember, I always quote that struggle is man's duty, defeat or victory is in the hand of God. What does Imam says in Baitul Khayal Farman? Do not think of failure. Why did I not get didar of Imam? Why did I not see the Noor? Because I sat in the bandagi. When we ask like that, it is I. Why does khayalat bother me? Seek answer from Faramins. उस आंसर को मिल गया, उस पे अमल करना। Why मैं आगे क्यों नहीं बढ़ रहा हूं? When we question like that, then we say, I have earned it. एक होता है, I deserve it, you deserve it, and I have earned it. These are two very different terms. Musa ka behavior, Musa is saying, why did you do that? I require you to answer me right now. Khizr ने commitment दिया था कि I will give you answer. Whatever I have, I'm taking you on the journey to teach you. Trust me. This is not trust. Then what happened? He failed the test. Fail किया तो क्या हुआ? नीचे आ गए। ऐसा नहीं कैसे मूसा अलैहि सलाम नीचे आ गए। Through the example of Hazrat Musa अलैहि सलाम, we are learning that how we will slow down our journey. That is the lesson here. That if you want to stay consistent and progressive, we do need to abide by the conditions. We are being taught different conditions. जब टीचर हजरत खिज़र अलैहि सलाम बताते हैं कि भाई जर्नी पे साथ चलो और ये चीजें देखो. It was not to take just Musa अलैहि सलाम on the journey and not teach him why. but teach him in the time when it was right. That is the thing. जी गुजर।
थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू सो मच। लेकिन मैम मैं एक और पूछूं क्वेश्चन। ये जो उन्होंने जवाब दिए ना हजरत मूसा पैगंबर कि मेरे को मतलब खुदा भी जाए और खुदा ही मुझे सबर देंगे, तो ये आंसर ऐसा नहीं देना चाहिए था ना, ये कुछ और देना चाहिए था, क्योंकि नहीं तो उनको सबर आता था। तो यहाँ पे भी कुछ तावील हमको समझना चाहिए, तो वो भी कुछ अगर प्लीज समझाओ ना मैम प्लीज।
This Farman is full of teachings for us, right? At a different, very many different levels of teaching. Remember, the story starts that Hazrat Musa lacked humility. He failed the test of humility. Now we do know that, a thought probably came in his mind, right? And due to that thought, he had to take upon himself this riyazat, this journey, to get the forgiveness of that sin which was committed in the thought. Because those souls which are pure, they will take upon themselves riyazat or ibadat. Why? If they will realize themselves that they have sinned. So there was a realization. Jibril made him realize. So Jibril did not come from outside. It was within him. His own soul was telling him that you need to go seek knowledge. How come you thought like that? You know more than everybody. You cannot. You know better. And that's why he goes on the journey. So in the journey, what we are being taught, when Hazrat Khizr alayhi salam asks that you will not have that patience, and he says, he does not say I will have patience, to teach us, the readers, the learners, the seekers, the mustajibeen, that you don't trust yourself. You don't say that it is me who has the courage, it is me who has the patience, but it is all happening due to the mercy of Imam. Submitting ourselves to Imam. Submission is a very important lesson. So I was not telling you about the salam. Salam is, actually also about submission. Let's take a very simple example. We have to keep things simple so everybody stays together. That when we sit in Bandagi, we got out of the bed, probably physically traveled to Jamaat Khana, and sat down. I did this journey. I woke up. I am better than those who are not in Jamaat Khana. Jamaat Khana on Friday evening or Chandrat evening is full. I am better than all those. There are so many people sleeping. Oh, even my family members are sleeping. I am better than all of them. I sat in Bandagi. I feel good. Mola, give me this. I have earned it. We can never say that. Who gave us that strength to be able to wake up, to be able to get out of the bed, to be able to drive, and to reach Jamaat Khana, and to sit in Bandagi? It is all His mercy. It is all His rahmat upon us. It is not us who did it. We will always have to remember that any point in time, at whatever level we reach, it is always about Imam. It is Imam. Our center, our Qibla is Imam. And that is why whatever we do or whatever we want to do, it is always with the name of Imam. I was able to do it because of him. Inshallah, I will do it with his help. Always with Imam. That is the teaching which is given to us when he says that I have been sent by the command of Allah. So, when we relate that to the story of the boat, the soul, the poor man who is poor, now you need to take that saying of Prophet Musa and relate it to the soul speaking to you, the poor man, and this city, the body. There has to be a conversation. Soul says, I have been sent by the command of my Lord. It is not me who's doing it, but right now I'm in control of this body. this body has to submit to the will of Imam. Until this body keeps on saying, it is my, it is me, it is who, and I am doing it, there is no submission. Submission requires our body to submit, because everything happens through our body. Our bodies are that vessel through which we work. But because our body is doing something else, our soul is dead, dried fish, so everything is separate. When we seek knowledge, that understanding comes. Soul's Girya Hazari, the soul's communication we hear. I have been sent through the command of my Lord. I am patient. How long it is the soul has been patient? What is our ages? Just 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years? That soul has been patient. But it has been sent by the command of Allah. And now it's high time that we need that knowledge. So do you see, Gulzar, from how many aspects we can look at it? The more you reflect, the more you'll understand.
Yes, ma'am. Shukar Allah, subhanallah. Thank you.
Ji Karim Sahib?
Do we have any more time, Niamat Saiba? I see it's 10 past.
Yeah.
You finish? Okay. Thank you very much, Niamat Saiba, for this wonderful explanation. And thank you, friends, for joining. Inshallah, see you next week. Yali Madad.
Niamat
Thank
Ben,
you. Ji.
Niamat Ben, in this Farman, two things have come up very strong: submission and struggle.
Yes.
Islam means submission to the will of Allah. જ્યારે કહે છે ને કે ખુદા મને સબર આપશે, because he was making mistakes. અને એને કહે છે કે ના, you can't do it, you can't do it. But he કે, okay, I'm making mistakes, પણ ખુદા મને સબર આપશે. So in this journey, it is really helping us. કે જ્યારે અમે સ્ટ્રગલ કરીએ છીએ ને અટકી જઈએ છીએ ત્યારે ઈ અમને આગળ લઈ જશે. I didn't, because ઘણા time I would say sugar, but I didn't mean it sugar in a really inside way. ખાલી માણસો બોલે છે ને એવી રીતે. But this today, it was very strong. કે when we say sugar, we are saying કે ખુદા મને સબર આપશે. I know I'm making mistakes and I am not at that stage. And then that conviction can bring us far ahead.
Ameen.
There are many others, but this too came very strong, and struggle karvanu છે.
Exactly. That is the key. Struggle is the first. Struggle is our duty. When we continue to do struggle, submission will automatically become real for us. It will not be just lip service. Subhanallah. Thank you for sharing what you got from the session. Thank you, Yasmin.
Thank you. Shukr, alhamdulillah.
Shukran.
Yali Madad, everyone. Okay. And
Yali
inshallah,
Madad,
see you
Yali
next
Madad.
week. Yali Madad.
See you next week. Yali Madad, Yali Madad.